You know, African Americans did not go vote in 2016 like they had in the previous few elections. That was the case here in Texas and in several swing states as well across the country. 4 years later, though, there is a renewed effort to get more blacks to the polls this November, and it is led in part by Deanna Moton. She is one of the original civil rights marchers back in the 1960s, and she is in studio. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Let's talk about getting African Americans to go vote. Why didn't they go vote 4 years ago?
They weren't. Actually, there are so many reasons that contribute towards that, but there's a need now. We're talking about right now. There's a need for, we see how critical things are. People need to go vote, and especially young kids. I was 14 years old back in 1965 when I participated in the voter registration march, and if I could do it at 14, young people could get involved now.
So what's the strategy? What's the mechanics? How do you physically convince them to go vote?
Well, door to door. Everybody's
Really?
Everybody's door to door now, and use the power that you have, your friendship, your social media, contact people and encourage them to vote because it's critical at this point.
And Ms. Moton, we are, 50 days away from Super Tuesday. What are people saying to you right now?
On the ground, people are concerned about their economic conditions. You know, that is an issue for anyone, whether it doesn't matter what your socioeconomic background or your race, how you're going to live coming forth is extremely important.
But we're in one of the best economies out there right now. Unemployment's so low.
Yeah, but for the rich, it's the best economy for the rich. Poor people are not benefiting from what's going on now economically in our country.
I want to ask you briefly, you mentioned your history as well too. You have a fascinating history. You met Malcolm X in 1965 when you were 14. A month later, you were there in Selma, where you were from, when the famous march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge happened as well. Why are you just now sharing your experiences?
Actually, it's as an elder in the African American community, you want to embrace your rich history, but the question is, why hadn't anybody asked? That's the issue. You know, there are many of us that walk across that bridge in Selma at 14, 15 years old, but our history was not followed up. You know, every year lately I've been going back and celebrating the Selma Jubilee. And I ask every American, if you want to be, to rekindle the spirit of what humaneness is go back to the Jubilee, experience the experience that walking over the Edmund Pettus Bridge would give to your heart. You need to have that experience. John Lewis, unfortunately, is facing a life-threatening disease at this point, but he led us in that march in March 7, 1965. And wow. Now, and Jose William was the second leader, and they, you know, Jose William passed away a while back.
We appreciate you coming in. It's an honor to meet you as well too. So
okay,
thanks for sharing your story.